This video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Hey guys, Big Paul here. Today we are going to talk about bodybuilding, PED use, steroid use, and risk. Bodybuilding is an extreme sport. It carries a lot of risk with it. And do you really want to get involved? We're going to talk about it in 1 second. So a lot of people don't consider this when they get into bodybuilding and when they think about it. It is an extreme sport. It to me, it's analogous to mountain climbing, to racing motorcycles, to racing cars, playing football, MMA, any other extreme sport where there is risk of permanent damage to your health or even death. One thing that does upset me, though, is that people cast judgment on bodybuilders for participating in extreme sport, and they don't seem to carry that same judgment for somebody who climbs a mountain. I recently watched a documentary about mountain climbing, and I think it was K2 they were climbing, and it's something like 1 in 20 people that climb K2 fucking die. It's still pretty high. The people that climb Mount Everest, even though it's basically a tourist spot at this point, died. I mean, there's dozens of people that die climbing Mount Everest every fucking year. But yet you don't hear people screaming on the internet, you shouldn't be doing that, it's dangerous. So bodybuilding is no different. It is a dangerous sport. PED use is dangerous, especially when you do things like you have to do for bodybuilding. I was talking to an IFBB pro today that I just casually know from working out, but he and I were talking, and he said that if you want to be a pro, that there's just a certain level of risk that you have to accept. And you take measures to mitigate that risk, and you work with people to help mitigate that risk. He said that he has a doctor he works with that helps him reduce the risk, but at the same time, you're still taking a chance. It's like riding a motorcycle going 180 miles an hour around a track. There's a chance that you could die doing it, and it's a higher chance than it is just sitting on your couch. So that's something that you have to keep in mind when you get involved in this sport. And that's why I tell gym bros, you don't need to be running the amounts of gear that pros run. Why take on that level of risk if you're just going to try to look good for the club? It doesn't make any fucking sense to me. So I would run safer stuff if I was just a gym bro and not competing. Lord knows I take risk. I do, things that I can try to do things to mitigate that risk, but it's still at my age doing what I'm doing, pushing my body, it is risky. And for the purpose of bodybuilding, hell, just competing at a local show, if you want to be good, if you want a chance of winning a local show, you got to roll the dice. There's no money in winning a local show, but it's something that you have to do to take a chance. Now, it's something that people don't think about. When you're a pro, or when people that have been successful in bodybuilding, it is a catapult to making more money. And that's something to consider too. So sometimes you take risks to make more money. Once again, if you're a gym bro, not worth it. If you're trying to make a career out of it, there is a level of risk that you have to accept and that you have to take. Now, there's things you can do to mitigate that risk, like managing your blood pressure, getting your blood work done, using safer compounds, only pushing the gas pedal down with more dangerous compounds on contest prep. That limits your exposure to risk, but it doesn't mean that you're without risk. One thing that does kind of piss me off with this whole thing is that people really like to throw stones at bodybuilders. And it's usually the couch commandos. It's the guy that's sitting home on his couch that doesn't do a fucking thing with himself, that likes to pass judgment on people that pursue bodybuilding and like to bodybuilding. They're the ones that throw the stones. It's the do-nothings. It always is. And that really irritates me and bothers me. So those people, it's always those people. But the way I look at it, I want to live my life to my fullest. And sometimes when you want to live your life to the fullest, that means taking a chance and rolling the dice. And to each his own. Everybody has their own path in life. If If you want to sit on the couch and do nothing with yourself, that's your prerogative. I really don't care. I don't judge you. But don't judge me for pursuing my passions as well. Keep in mind, once again, wrapping this up, young guys, bodybuilding carries risk. If you want to be serious about it, if you want to compete at a high level, you have to accept that there's going to be some risk that you're going to have to take on. If you're not willing to take that risk, I would say stay at home. Don't compete. That's my 2 cents. All right, guys. Hopefully you appreciated this. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Take care. For coaching or consultations, head over to www.anabolicbodybuilding.com to book your spot today. I can help you with optimizing hormones, fat loss, muscle gain, physique, athletic performance, nutrition, and health. For more information, shoot me an email at bigp3rd@gmail.com.